Hey everyone, thanks a lot for taking the time to subscribe to the channel. It's been several weeks, almost a month. I haven't gotten any subscribers while we look at this object I caught in the sky just a couple of days ago. Don't be shy to subscribe to the channel. The only way this research gets out is with you all sharing it. We know YouTube holds back certain truth. We're not going to hide that. I know everyone knows that. So it is really all thanks to you all for getting this research out. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it so much. Watch this. Watch how intense. Isn't that cool? See the red changing in the orange in the sky. There's lots of reasons for us to see orange. I'm not going to get back into it. It has to do with the blue light at the same time. Why the horizon? Why is the moon always orange when it rises? Dwayne Ayers, thanks so much for asking. These are people in the community asking questions, and of course, the ones supporting and permitting me to continue this channel. Dwayne, his question is the moon a spaceship or a hologram? So, is the moon a spaceship or hologram? Holographic images. I don't lean into too far into the holographic theory. I do keep it and ponder on it once in a while. I tend to think and even have a hard time to imagine how it could just be a holographic image, because it seems to me an advanced race would be able to bring the moon elsewhere, or the spaceship, if it was a spaceship. The moon is always moving, right? So in reality, nothing's stationary. We say the moon's, it does rotate, by the way, every 27 point so many days, the moon does do a complete rotation, they say. We don't see them rotating anyways, that's for sure. I don't see it. When we look at the moon, it's always the same way. You all know it and you all think the same. So in reality, it is moving anyways, right? So what's the use of the moon being beside Earth? Well, it could be a lab. It could be a stationary object that's looking over Earth. It's always been there. DB Tayan, thank you very much for the awesome question. Hi, Bruce. Why aliens would build structures on the part of the moon facing Earth? Any idea? Thanks for the fantastic work. DB, thanks a lot. So why would they be building structures close to Earth? Good question. In reality, we're seeing structures that are close to Earth. Let's go through some quick theories, because I'm going to go through a few questions anyways. What if it's a breakaway civilization from Earth, and they would have decided to go to the moon, and they would have landed on the moon? Well, one, would they have necessarily landed at the poles? Probably not, because thinking of the weather would be pretty drastic at the two poles. They'd probably land more in an area where it's warmer on the moon if they were an intelligent race. Who knows what the reason is? But what I think it is, and we're still talking about holographic veils. I like calling it a veil. I believe the moon has a veil. And I believe that a part of what's hiding the structures on the surface is that haze, the lights, and whether it be a natural phenomenon that is hiding the moon, it would be so perfectly godly, precisely well done, right? When you think of it, as they do say that the universe is done and created by God, because it is so perfect. Maybe the reason why they're closest to Earth is that they're observing us. But observing us could be to protect us and not necessarily to strike us. You know, think of it. Why would they cause war if they're an advanced race? So get that right out of your heads, that an advanced race is not going to fight a war with an inferior race. They just come and invade us. Well, maybe that's what's gone on in the past, and maybe we are the ones that invaded ourselves. I like thinking on both sides, not just thinking that aliens are out there in space, when in reality we're all aliens, right? We're all aliens to each other. Maybe they're capable of coming here to Earth, taking what they want, at the same time with respecting our own culture and you as humans, right? Our own race, and just doing what they want without us really getting in the way. Think of it. If they came here a long time ago, we weren't traveling all over Earth. There's still many areas on Earth that we've never, ever traveled to. Over a period of time, At one point, everyone will evolve. Cultures, humans will evolve. Towns will get bigger. More people, more population, an evolution in progress all the time. And from that, with the aliens, considering theoretically if they were here, they would also evolve and would be able to counteract or, know the outcome of what's going to happen. They would have been able to know way ahead of time that, oh, in 1,000 years they're going to start being in our nose, in our hair, and we're going to have to go deeper into the ground to hide. It's a theory. It's a very, very convincing one for me. So again, that chronological order of events, series of events. What would occur? Well, quite simply, theoretically, we can think of hundreds, if not thousands of things, definitely thousands of things that they could do to counteract us evolving. They wouldn't have to leave from here. They would start getting very intelligent and come up with a camouflage idea, either a way of hiding their infrastructure entirely to us here on Earth by either blending in with nature. It makes so much sense. In space, like here on Earth, I believe, they bend light. That theory and technology, artificial intelligent technology of bending light, they created the cloak, the invisibility cloak. They're creating patterns on planes where they're flying by and they're not being seen in the sky by simple ways of understanding light and the way it interacts with objects around it. You could play with that, and that's exactly what they're doing. The way they're hiding the moon's surface, I believe, alien or not. The way we here hide our own bases in Antarctica by putting them in areas where there are snow, by hiding things in shadows, exactly like I believe that they're doing right up there on the moon. So the aliens would become so advanced here and be able to still be around us. Imagine them coming up with an invisibility technology. Game over. They'll never have to leave. They'll always be able to be here. They'll always be able to be here. Except they may need the help of government for one thing: to keep certain areas off limits to certain people. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Antarctica. There's a no-fly zone over the Pentagon. There's a no-fly zone over Area 51. And so on and so forth. There's areas that people are not allowed unless they have top secret clearance to be able to enter certain areas. Hi Bruce, thanks for the hard work. When did you first notice structures on the moon? Octavia White, first of all, thanks for the generous support to the channel, and thanks for taking the time to comment. That's a good question, and I'm more than happy to answer it. Octavia White, thanks so much for stopping by and asking that awesome question. I appreciate those who do. Let's take this, for example. Mare serenitatis. Let's take down the exposure and do a simple inversion where we could see a rectangle. I'll get the indication up. There we go. So before even zooming up into the surface at all, right beside there is the Apollo 17 landing, and over to the left here, we see tunnel-like objects that are outside of the mare. And that was a first rectangle and square that one of the first ones that I saw, many other ones, 20 or 30 of them. Here's another one, same technique, bringing down the exposure with the inversion, another rectangle and a line going to a crater, right beside Tycho crater. So look at the angles. Here it's not a perfect square, but you see again that 90-degree angle, like there's a setup always around these supposed craters. Hey, those of you who like talking about theories on space and about the moon, check out Coralface's channel. He has a 4-part video. We had a lot of fun, a bunch of us commenting on the video about different theories. Go see what his perspective is, and of course, as always, Crawlface trying to broaden people's minds. Check it out. I love listening to other people's opinions, as I know Crawlface does. It gives us other ideals. It makes our minds explore other ideals inside of us, trapped sometimes. Look at another square base on the surface with towering objects. It could just very well be a planet, right? Or an inhabited moon, quite simply. Instead of it being a spaceship. But I like the spaceship theory. I love the controversy around it. I love the debate around it all. But in reality, look at this. Just like Earth, straight up towering object on the surface with a very peculiar line there. This is about the closest I've showed it. It is right beside Clavius crater. Absolutely exceptional. The theories, and somebody commented in the community said, Bruce, the theories are never ending. The more you show me things, the more I get more lost because I come up with more theories. And man, I hear you. I'm exactly the same on my end. The more I see, the more I find stuff, the more I come up with these amazing theories like all of you have been doing also. I mean, it's not hard. We're all creative as humans, right? We all have an imagination, and some more creative than others. Not going to mention any names, Bruce. But it's true. In reality, that's what gets me to open my mind about all the possibilities. Right. Remember this object spiraling to the moon, much like oumuamua. Well, let's look at some very intriguing characteristics that I've never mentioned before about it, nor have I looked and showed you guys this close. Look at all the holes inside of this elongated object. A bit of everything. So I wanted to share this asteroid, or, I'm sorry, I think we can confirm it's not an asteroid. Asteroids are not shaped like that. Asteroids are shaped like potatoes, unless they're 300 kilometers plus, which they would be spherical, right? And this is more like oumuamua. But look at the holes, or exhaust holes, or bullet holes, or laser holes, Star Wars holes. I have no idea. But you can see that the object is literally littered with all these elongated slits along the side there, and even a big hole in the top at the back there. So this object, elongated, does really look like oumuamua coming down at a fast pace. I was able to capture it by being off of the moon with the telescope, luckily. And this one, just to show you, I've showed it to you before. This is what I call my angel with the wings and the tail, the long gown at the back. Definitely something very large to see the lines cut in the back. Do you see that? How it's swiveling out the tail? That was coming out of Betelgeuse in Orion. This I've also showed you. Let's take another look at it. I have a lot of research, and when there's a bad weather day outside, like it's raining now, well, what I do is I come inside and I look at all the documentation that I've had. Take a look at this, guys. This is an object that is seen outside of my car window. I pulled over once or twice to get an image and a shot of it. And so understand that no, it's not just an airplane who is starting its rise into the sky and applying the chemtrails. It's something that is stationary. It stayed there almost an hour. Here's with regular filters. It's pretty incredible. It does look like the NASA's, chevron. Absolutely. If it wasn't for my amazing community, this channel wouldn't even exist. Thanks a whole bunch, everyone. I really appreciate it. Slow disclosure is in progress. More information will be coming. A lot more.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Oh,